Are you kidding me right now? Two legends, two absolute legends, just ended a young man's career for absolutely nothing, and the WWE Universe is out here celebrating it like it's some kind of justice. Batista and Brock Lesnar, combined age of 94 years old, just jumped Bron Breakker in the most cowardly, disgusting display of insecurity I've ever witnessed in professional wrestling, and somehow people are acting like this is okay. I'm about to tell you exactly why what happened on the 7th of November 2025 wasn't just an attack, it was character assassination, it was career sabotage, and it might be the most short-sighted booking decision WWE has made in the last decade. And if you disagree with me, I dare you to defend this in the comments, because what I'm about to break down is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about this industry. The setup. Let me set the stage for what can only be described as a masterclass in how not to build your future stars. Bron Breakker, 27 years old, second-generation superstar, legitimate NCAA Division I football player, genetic freak with more natural athleticism in his pinky finger than most wrestlers have in their entire body, was cutting a promo about his dominance in WWE. Was he cocky? Absolutely. Was he arrogant? You bet. Was he wrong? Not even a little bit. This man has been steamrolling through the competition for months, putting on match of the night performances week after week, carrying matches with veterans who can barely keep up with his intensity. Breakker stood in that ring and did what every great heel is supposed to do. He told uncomfortable truths. He called out the legends living off their past glory. He challenged anyone in the back to step up and face the future of WWE. He was generating legitimate heat, the kind of heat that you can't manufacture, the kind that makes people tune in every single week just to see if someone can finally shut him up. Quick question for the Wrestling Zone family: did Bron Breakker cross a line with his promo, or was he speaking facts? Drop your honest opinion below. The ambush. Then it happened. Batista's music hit, and the place erupted. I'm not going to lie to you, even I got chills. The animal walking down that ramp with that signature intensity, that look in his eyes that says he's about to hurt somebody. The nostalgia was real. The pop was deafening. For about 30 seconds, this felt like a dream match in the making. Batista gets in Breakker's face, and you can feel the tension. The size comparison alone is insane, two absolute units standing nose to nose. But here's where WWE showed their true colors, and it makes me absolutely sick. Before we could even get words exchanged, before we could get the confrontation we deserved, Brock Lesnar's music hits. And suddenly, this isn't a confrontation anymore, this is a hit job. Lesnar storms to the ring with Paul Heyman watching from the ramp with that smug smile, and what happens next is 15 minutes of the most one-sided, brutal, unnecessary beating I've seen in years. Batista hits the Batista bomb. Okay, fine, that's his signature. But then Lesnar comes in with an F5, then another Batista bomb. Then Lesnar starts hitting German suplexes like he's trying to put Breakker through the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4 German suplexes. Breakker isn't even fighting back at this point, he's just a ragdoll being thrown around by two guys who apparently feel so threatened by young talent that they need to team up to destroy him. The crowd is going absolutely insane, chanting "This is awesome," and I'm sitting here thinking, are we watching the same thing? This isn't awesome. This is two men in their late 40s and mid 50s burying the future of your company because they can't handle that their time has passed. Let me hear it in the comments. On a scale of 1 to 10, how disgusted were you by this 2-on-1 assault, the aftermath and other highlights? But you know what the worst part is? The show just continued. Like they didn't just end a man's momentum. Security finally breaks it up. Breakker is stretched out, and we're supposed to just move on to the next segment like business as usual. The medical update came later: concussion protocol, separated shoulder, possible broken ribs. 3 to 6 weeks on the shelf. 3 to 6 weeks where all his momentum dies, where people forget about him, where WWE can bring him back as just another guy instead of the guy. Let's talk about what else happened on this show, because believe it or not, there was actual wrestling that took place between the segments of legends destroying the future. The opening match featured Carmelo Hayes against Ilja Dragunov in what should have been the talk of the night. 22 minutes of absolute technical brilliance. Hayes showed why he's one of the most complete performers on the roster: the charisma, the in-ring ability, the psychology. Dragunov brought that hard-hitting European style that makes every strike look like it could end the match. The finish saw Hayes counter-torpedo Moscow into nothing but net in a sequence so smooth it looked choreographed, but I promise you it wasn't. That's just two elite workers at the top of their game. Under normal circumstances, that match would be getting 5-star reviews across the board. But it got buried under the controversy of the main event angle, and that's a shame. The women's division delivered again with Tiffany Stratton defending her championship against Lyra Valkyria. 17 minutes of back and forth action that had the crowd on their feet for every near fall. Valkyria has improved so much since moving to the main roster. Her striking looks devastating, her transitions are seamless, and she's telling stories in the ring that most veterans can't tell. Stratton retained with the prettiest moonsault ever, but Valkyria made her earn it. Both women came out of this looking like absolute stars. Here's a fun one for the comments: who's winning the women's championship first, Lyra Valkyria or Roxanne Perez? Let's debate. The tag division got some love with DIY taking on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in a match that reminded everyone why tag team wrestling matters. The chemistry between Ciampa and Gargano is unmatched. 15 years of wrestling together will do that. But Theory and Waller are no jokes anymore. They've evolved from comedy heels into legitimate threats. The double team offense, the timing, the heel tactics, it all works. DIY won with meeting in the middle, but Theory and Waller looked strong in defeat. The real issue, but none of this matters, does it? Because all anyone's talking about is Batista and Lesnar ending Bron Breakker's push in the most cowardly way possible. And here's why this makes me so angry. WWE has done this before. They've sacrificed young talent at the altar of nostalgia so many times, and it never works long term. Remember when Bray Wyatt lost to Undertaker at WrestleMania and his momentum never recovered? Remember when the Nexus got destroyed by Team WWE and most of those guys never became stars? Remember when Roman Reigns got fed to Goldberg and it set his character back years? History is repeating itself, and nobody seems to care because OMG Batista and Lesnar in the same ring. Here's what WWE doesn't understand: nostalgia is a drug, and they are addicted to it. They can't help themselves. Whenever ratings dip slightly, whenever they need a quick pop, they bring back the legends and feed them young talent like it's going to solve all their problems. But it doesn't. It creates a cycle where the current roster is seen as inferior, where fans don't invest in new stars because they know the legends will just come back and beat them anyway. Bron Breakker should be protected right now. He should be running through the mid-card, building toward a world championship run, establishing himself as the next big thing. Instead, he's in concussion protocol because two guys who should be retired decided they needed to remind everyone how tough they used to be. Real talk time: do you think WWE cares more about short-term ratings or building long-term stars? I need your honest opinions in the comments. The controversy, and let's address the elephant in the room: the people defending this. I've seen the comments on social media. Bron disrespected the legends, he deserved it. This is how you build a star, now he'll get sympathy. You're just mad your favorite lost. No, stop it, just stop it. Bron did his job as a heel. He's supposed to disrespect legends. That's called heat. That's called giving the babyfaces a reason to come after him. What's not part of the job is getting buried by two legends who refuse to put over young talent in any meaningful way. This isn't the 1980s anymore. We can't build stars by having them get destroyed and then magically become tougher. Modern audiences are smarter than that. They see through the booking. They know when someone's being sacrificed for a cheap moment. And cheap is exactly what this was. The future. So where do we go from here? Breakker comes back in 6 weeks to what? A nothing feud with a mid-carder while Batista and Lesnar ride off into the sunset with their egos stroked? Or do we get the match we should have gotten tonight: Breakker versus Batista one-on-one, winner take all, proving ground for the next generation? My prediction? WWE does nothing with this. Breakker comes back, maybe gets a token win to even the score, and then gets lost in the shuffle while WWE moves on to the next nostalgia act. I hope I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong. But history suggests otherwise. The 7th of November 2025 will be remembered as the night WWE chose the past over the future. The night two legends couldn't handle being called out by someone better than they ever were. The night the business took a step backward instead of forward. Final question: if you were booking this, how would you have handled the Batista Breakker situation? Give me your fantasy booking in the comments. The war between past and future has started, and right now, the past is winning. The question is, will WWE let the future fight back, or will they keep sacrificing their young stars for quick pops and short-term gains? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure: Wrestling Zone will be here to call it exactly like we see it, no matter who it makes angry.